I don't give a damn. You and your Constitution, you can stick it. You're not going anywhere until you fill out a form.
Okay.
Welcome to Danbury, Connecticut. That is City Hall security guard Phil Janusa.
You're not going anywhere, brother.
Get out of my way.
I'm telling you, I'll put you through the wall.
Get out of my way.
I'll knock you down like I knocked trees down all my life.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir, what's your name?
Arresting a peaceful journalist in a public space, this is Officer Mike Farrell.
Put your hands behind your back.
You look like Utter. You must be his,
The latest eyesores in Danbury began piling up over the summer when independent journalist Sean-Paul Reyes tried to film in the public library.
freedom of press. This is a public building, and I'm allowed to be here, and I'm allowed to record. Regardless of what their policy says, policy does not trump law.
5 police officers responded to the scene.
You not to go anywhere, you don't go nowhere. You understand?
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Do you understand that, though?
I'm telling. Do you understand?
I'm telling
that I told you not to touch me.
Do you understand that?
Don't touch me.
You don't leave until we say so.
Don't touch me.
After they released Reyes and he went outside, Officer Ken Utter taunted him.
Constitutionally protected activity. If I went in there and I was acting like an asshole,
you're wrong.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Hey,
20 years ago, that mother be dead. He'd be fucking his teeth if he missed.
I'd have removed his teeth. He would be dead. The police behavior prompted Reyes a few weeks later to go to Danbury City Hall. On July the 15th, he tried to serve notice of a lawsuit.
What's up, buddy?
And while Reyes filmed in a publicly accessible area, security guard Janusa, another Danbury public servant, got
keep walking,
physical.
man.
Go ahead, try to walk through me.
I'm not
Try
gonna,
to walk
I'm
through
gonna
me,
keep
buddy.
walking. I'm gonna keep walking.
Back up, buddy. Back up.
Don't push me. There you go.
When Danbury police arrived, Reyes said he wanted to press charges against the guard for assault.
He should be arrested because he committed a crime.
Well, we'll determine that after we look at the camera footage and after I read over your statement, but just cursory, based on what you've told me, yes, it absolutely sounds like a crime, especially if he pushed you.
Yeah, several times. So we just got out of the Danbury Police Department here.
Reyes went to the police station, gave a written statement, and shared his video.
I don't give a damn. You and your Constitution, you can stick it.
Yeah.
But records show the police issued no arrest warrant against the security guard. Instead, police filed a charging warrant against Reyes.
Were you here earlier recording?
Yeah, I was here earlier.
When Reyes went back to City Hall, camera rolling, and tried again to deliver documents,
I'm not going into restricted areas. I don't even want to talk to anybody.
Officer Mike Farrell moved in.
No, turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands.
You commit the crime today, and I go away in cuffs. Isn't that justice?
Reyes posted bond and gave notice of his intent to sue.
creating a public disturbance. That was them, not me.
Then, Stephen Sedensky, the state prosecutor for Danbury, notified Reyes his original 2 misdemeanor charges were being raised to 6. Was all of this retaliation? While police were clearly angry at Reyes and seemed to be humiliated, the videos and police body camera footage do not show Reyes engaged in the elements needed under the statutes, including trespass, disorderly conduct, and breach of the peace, to prove the alleged crimes. Hello, everybody. I'm David Schuster, and thanks for joining us. In response to our questions, prosecutor Stephen Sedensky refused to comment on the Reyes charges. Instead, he gave us a memo written by a YouTuber in another state. I spoke to the memo writer. He confirmed he is not a lawyer, not an expert on constitutional rights, and served 6 years in prison on drug-related offenses. Why would prosecutor Stephen Sedensky use that YouTuber's memo to try and get a journalist to respect the Reyes prosecution? Well, maybe State's Attorney Sedensky is just not very bright. He certainly has a controversial record. You see, it was Stephen Sedensky who investigated the Newtown school massacre that prompted this headline about him, an embarrassing Sandy Hook report. To be clear, there are law enforcement authorities in Danbury, Connecticut who are arguably not corrupt. Police Chief Patrick Ridenour is well respected, and when he saw the video of Officer Ken Utter saying he would have killed Reyes 20 years ago, the chief suspended Officer Utter. Another officer, Sergeant Steve Castrovinci, tried to warn officials that Reyes was peaceful.
He doesn't raise his voice. He's a polite kid.
Okay.
Legal experts we've spoken with say Reyes acted within his constitutional rights and that the prosecution is absurd and will be rejected. In the meantime, this case is another setback to Danbury, Connecticut's reputation. A year ago, after comedian John Oliver ridiculed Danbury, the mayor named a sewage treatment plant after him.
Why? Because it's full of
Well, perhaps it is time to rename that sewage treatment facility after a few Danbury police officers, a city hall security guard, and a state prosecutor.
We won! We won! We won. Thank you, man.
Another case, another victory for Sean Paul Reyes, Long Island Audit, one of the top auditors in America. And from New York to Connecticut to Illinois and beyond, this is his 5th straight win.
I've been charged 5 times since we started our activism, guys. And every single time, the criminal charges have been dismissed or dropped.
The latest case dates back to an incident nearly 2 years ago in Danbury, Connecticut.
This is a public building, and I'm allowed to be here, and I'm allowed to record.
Police hounded Reyes out of the Danbury Public Library.
If I went in there and I was acting like an asshole,
You're wrong.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Hey,
20 years ago, that mother is dead. His teeth if he missed.
I'd have removed his teeth. He would be dead. The police behavior prompted Reyes, a few weeks later, to go to Danbury City Hall. He tried to serve notice of a lawsuit. And while Reyes filmed in a publicly accessible area, security guard Phil Janusa got physical.
Go ahead, try to walk through me.
I'm not
Try
gonna,
to walk
I'm
through
gonna
me,
keep
buddy.
walking. I'm gonna keep walking.
Back up, buddy. Back up.
Don't push me. There you go.
Don't
That's all
give
I
a
care
damn.
about.
You and your Constitution, you can stick it.
Yeah.
Later that day, police arrested Reyes for creating a disturbance and put him in jail.
Put your hands behind your back.
You look like Utter. You must be his
When Reyes got released and gave notice of his intent to sue, State's Attorney Stephen Sedensky added 4 criminal charges. Sedensky's decision to drop the charges at the final pretrial hearing amounts to waving a white flag and surrendering.
Stephen Sedensky, State's Attorney Stephen Sedensky, I called your bluff and you backed down because you knew what I did was not criminal. You knew I was engaged in a constitutionally protected activity. So shame on you. You might have immunity. I might not be able to sue you. I might not be able to sue the judge. But the city will be sued.
And there has already been fallout. Officer Ken Utter, who said he would have killed Reyes and removed the auditor's teeth, was suspended for 8 days. Allied Security fired Danbury City Hall guard Phil Januso. And the legal humiliations for Danbury may not be over. The state's attorney's office is still pursuing 2 non-criminal infractions against Reyes that are the equivalent of a parking ticket.
This is one of their set strategies here at the state's attorney's office. They drop all the criminal charges, and now I'm not entitled to a jury trial. So I have a bench trial coming up December 2nd. No more jury trial, even though I paid for a lawyer to represent me in jury trial. This is their strategy, right? They're trying to make me lose money. That's what they want they want me to lose money by hiring a jury trial attorney, coming back and forth for over, 2 years, but it doesn't change anything.
Legal experts point out that if Danbury authorities drop the civil infractions, it would be tantamount to an admission of liability in a civil lawsuit. And as you heard, Reyes is moving forward with his lawsuit. So for all of you keeping score, Danbury, Connecticut is facing a costly lawsuit. The police department reputation is in the toilet. One officer is now known for sociopathic violent impulses. A city hall security guard is out of work. The state's attorney, Stephen Sedensky, who is retiring, will be known for a last prosecution act that wasted state resources. And if a Danbury judge somehow finds Sean Paul Reyes responsible on the administrative infractions, the best the city can hope for is a payment of about $100. Really? And all of this because a group of Danbury public servants didn't know or didn't care about constitutional rights, desperately needed to protect their fragile egos, and chose escalation over de-escalation. What a mess, and it's particularly embarrassing to those of us who live in Connecticut. In the meantime, kudos to Sean Paul Reyes, Long Island Audit, for shining a bright light on the corruption and tyranny in Danbury and across the United States.